The quiet hum of the washing machine often filled our evenings, a domestic symphony of comfort and routine. David and I, we built a life so meticulously crafted, so seemingly unbreakable. I remember thinking we were invincible, our love a fortress against the world's chaos. We had our inside jokes, our shared dreams, our comfortable silences, the kind where you don't need words to understand each other. It was a beautiful existence, or so I believed. Then a steady rhythm, a predictable path, stretching out before us, towards a future full of easy smiles and gentle companionship. A future I believed was guaranteed. A certainty I foolishly took for granted, without a second thought, without ever pausing to truly appreciate the intricate beauty of what we had fostered together with such care and devotion for so many years. But even the strongest fortresses can develop cracks, ones you don't notice at first, tiny fissures barely visible to the naked eye. A slow, creeping silence began to fill the spaces between us, a subtle disconnect that I attributed to the passage of time, the natural evolution of a long-term relationship. I told myself this was normal, this quiet lull, this sense of being taken for granted. That familiarity bred a certain comfortable complacency. We still held hands during movies. Sometimes we still made plans for holidays. But the spark, the electric current that once pulsed between us, it had faded into a dull glow, a distant memory of brighter days. I yearned for something more, something I couldn't quite articulate. A renewed sense of excitement, a deeper validation, a feeling of being truly seen, truly desired, truly understood in a way that felt thrilling and new, not just comfortably familiar. I craved a passion that had slowly diminished into a warm but uninspiring embers. Then Mark entered my world, a new project manager at the office he brought with him, a vibrant energy, a contagious laugh, a way of looking at you that felt like you were the only person in the room. He was attentive. He listened, truly listened, when I spoke about my frustrations, my aspirations, my mundane daily anecdotes. It was a stark contrast to the comfortable inattention I had grown accustomed to in my marriage. Mark seemed genuinely fascinated by my thoughts, my opinions, my very presence. He complimented my ideas, my clothes, my sense of humor. Little things that started to chip away at the walls I had unknowingly built around my heart and against the growing dissatisfaction within me. He made me feel young again, exciting again, seen again in a way David no longer seemed to, or perhaps I no longer allowed him to. Our interactions started innocently enough: coffee breaks at the small cafe downstairs, lunch meetings that stretched a little longer than necessary, after work drinks with a group that slowly dwindled until it was just the two of us. I convinced myself it was harmless professional camaraderie, a much-needed intellectual stimulation, a breath of fresh air in an otherwise predictable work week. I told myself David wouldn't mind I was just making friends, building my network. But deep down, a tiny voice, a whisper of unease, told me I was playing with fire dancing, on the edge of something dangerous, something forbidden, something that threatened the very foundations of the life I had built. A voice I chose to ignore with increasing ease and alarming frequency. The line between friendship and something else blurred imperceptibly. One evening after a late-night working session, everyone else had left the office, and it was just Mark and I, surrounded by the quiet hum of computers and the glow of desk lamps. We were talking about life dreams, disappointments, and suddenly his hand was on mine, a gentle touch that sent a jolt of something foreign yet thrilling through my entire being. My breath hitched. My heart pounded a chaotic rhythm against my ribs. He looked into my eyes with an intensity that made me feel utterly exposed, utterly desired. And then he leaned in his lips, finding mine a soft, tentative press that quickly deepened into a fierce, passionate kiss. It was a moment of pure, exhilarating betrayal. A rush of emotions I had long forgotten existed. A dangerous cocktail of excitement, desire, and a sickening wave of guilt that immediately followed a guilt I pushed deep down, choosing the fleeting thrill over my own conscience. That one kiss opened a Pandora's box, a floodgate of choices I knew I shouldn't make, but found myself powerless to resist. The affair began a clandestine existence of stolen moments, whispered words, urgent texts exchanged under the table during dinners with David. Each encounter with Mark was a whirlwind of intoxicating passion, a momentary escape from the reality of my fractured marriage and the gnawing guilt that accompanied every lie, every secret, every touch, every kiss felt electrifying, a desperate attempt to feel alive again, to reclaim a part of myself I believed I had lost. But beneath the surface of this newfound excitement lay a growing sense of shame, a deep-seated self-loathing that festered with each passing day, poisoning my inner peace, destroying my integrity, and corroding the very core of who I once was, a person who valued honesty and loyalty above all else. My life became a meticulously constructed tapestry of deception, a delicate balance of fabricated stories and elaborate excuses. Lying to David became second nature, a practiced art, a constant performance. His trusting eyes, his innocent questions, his unwavering affection became a constant reproach, a mirror reflecting the ugliness of my betrayal. I saw the man I was hurting, the life I was systematically destroying, and a part of me screamed to stop, to confess, to unravel this tangled web of deceit. But another part of me, the selfish part, the cowardly part, clung to the illicit thrill, to the temporary balm Mark offered to my wounded ego, to my forgotten desires, a dangerous addiction to external validation that overshadowed all reason and morality. The weight of the secret grew heavier with each passing week. It pressed down on me, suffocating my spirit, clouding my judgment. I became distant, withdrawn, irritable with David, a shadow of my former self. The joy had drained from my life, replaced by a constant state of anxiety and fear of discovery. I knew it couldn't last, that something, this fragile, this dangerous, was bound to break, and the universe in its cruel impartiality delivered the inevitable, a-forgotten text message left open on my laptop, a suspicious credit card statement, a hushed phone conversation, overheard by chance. The truth finally unraveled brutally quickly in a torrent of pain and disbelief, the world collapsing around me in a cascade of shattered trust and broken promises. The raw agony in David's eyes when he finally knew, the moment his world shattered before mine, is a memory forever etched into my soul. The arguments that followed were not just words, they were daggers piercing through the heart of our shared history, our vows, our dreams. Tears flowed freely on both sides. Tears of anger, tears of sorrow, tears of profound, irreparable damage. Our home, once a sanctuary, became a battleground of broken promises, of shattered trust, of dreams reduced to ashes. The silence after the shouting was deafening, a heavy shroud of emptiness that enveloped everything we once held dear. Our marriage ended not with a whimper, but with a violent, agonizing rip, leaving behind only fragments of what was once whole, a gaping wound that may never fully close. Years have since passed, but the scars remain deep, unyielding, indelible. The echoes of that betrayal still reverberate through my life, a constant reminder of my choices, my weakness, my profound selfishness. I lost David. I lost the future. We had so carefully planned, I lost a part of myself that I fear I will never fully recover. Mark was a fleeting sensation, a temporary distraction, a selfish pursuit of fleeting pleasure, a momentary flicker that promised light but left only darkness. David was my anchor, my confidant, my everything, and I threw it all away for a moment of misguided desire for an illusory sense of revitalization. The weight of this burden I carry every single day, a heavy mantle of regret, a profound understanding that some mistakes leave permanent, irreparable marks that cannot be erased, no matter how much time passes or how deeply I wish they could be undone. I often wonder what might have been had I possessed the courage to face my own dissatisfaction, to communicate openly with David, to seek help to work through our problems, before seeking solace in another man's arms. I wish I could turn back. Time rewrite that chapter, make different choices, but wishes are merely ghost stories whispered by the wind, echoes of what might have been, what should have been. I am left with the crushing emptiness, the relentless regret, and the profound understanding that the path of infidelity is a destructive one, leaving behind only ruin and a lifetime of what-ifs, a chilling reminder of the fragility of trust and the devastating consequences of personal betrayal. A lesson learned through the most painful means possible, a wound that refuses to fully heal and bleeds anew with every lonely night, every reminder of the happiness I forfeited. My life is now a testament to the fact that seeking temporary thrills often leads to permanent sorrow. A quiet existence haunted by the ghosts of a love I carelessly destroyed. I often find myself staring out windows lost in thought, wondering if David ever found happiness again, if he ever truly healed from the pain I inflicted, if he ever thinks of me with anything less than contempt or pity. My heart aches for the man I wronged, the life I ruined, the trust. I annihilated a never-ending cycle of remorse and a longing for forgiveness. I know I may never receive. The weight of it all is immense, a heavy cloak I wear every day, a silent penance for the choices made in moments of weakness, and a profound misjudgment of what truly mattered more than anything else in the entire world. I am forever marked by that choice, a solitary figure navigating a landscape of my own making, forever carrying the indelible stain of betrayal, a constant whisper in my mind telling me I deserve this isolation, this sorrow, this never-ending feeling of profound emptiness, a self-inflicted wound that continues to fester long after the initial cut, a testament to the fact that some decisions reverberate through an entire lifetime, casting long shadows over every subsequent moment, a somber and enduring reminder of the love I carelessly shattered and the irreplaceable loss I brought upon myself.